Welcome to the MindSoulful Show, where mindfulness meets your heart and soul. I'm your host, Brooke Sidney. I'm an abundance accelerator, MindSoulful mentor, and an inner voice and soul story coach. This show dives deep into soulful mindfulness, mindset, and manifestation. It will help you manifest more inner and outer abundance in the form of greater self-love, hearing your inner voice, as well as more presence, freedom, ease, and greater self-confidence in you being you. So if you're looking to learn more about the high vibe tools of mindfulness, mindset, and manifestation to love the life you are presently living, you are tuned into the right show. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the MindSoulful Show. Hi, I'm your host. I'm Brooke Sidney. I am an abundance accelerator, a MindSoulful mentor, and an inner voice and soul story coach. And essentially, I help people love themselves deeper, fuller, greater, as well as the lives they are presently living. And today we are chatting all about self-love. Now, as you know, this show covers soulful mindfulness, soulful mindset, as well as soulful manifestation. But at the heart of all of that is really and truly a basis for having self-love for ourselves. So I figured with it being self-love and love month, let's dive in a little bit deeper into self-love. And I talk about it a lot, right? So what is self-love, right? For me and for the clients that I work with, first of all, it's important for each of us to define self-love for ourselves. But for me, self-love is really having a true and real love and appreciation for ourselves that encompasses our strengths as well as our weaknesses, or I'd rather call them areas of development, as well as our experiences and our background. So we're able to love ourselves despite anything that has happened to us, right? Anything that we have per se gone through. We are able to, at the center of it all, love ourselves, accept ourselves, and appreciate who and what we are no matter what, right? No matter what life throws our way, right? No matter what storms come to pass, we have at our unshakable core a self-love, an appreciation for who we are. I think a really easy way to look at it is we are able to, as closely as humanly possible, see and love ourselves as spirit does, right? That's the divine, creator, source, whatever that beautiful entity, beautiful energy is for you, right? We're able to, as much as we humanly and physically can, love ourselves as spirit loves us, right? And that is fully, that includes all of our faults, that includes all of our per se weaknesses, right? But it also takes into account our beautiful strengths and our beautiful purpose and our heart and our intention. And it sees us as we see ourselves in a compassionate, loving way. And I feel like when we can get to that level of self-love, hold on, because then you really become a force to deal with, right? You become a person who is able to operate, I feel like, in their highest. You become so aligned, right, with who you are, what you are doing, your purpose, as well as spirit, that you become less outwardly focused. I feel like that's one of the biggest benefits, right, is this lack of just not needing a level of outward approval or people pleasing or external verification and authorization. Because when you fully in love yourself and you are okay with, being who you are, making a mistake if it has to come to that, right? If that is what you even care to call it, if it happens to you, you're good with that, because at your core, you love yourself and you know that you're just so much bigger than that, right? So I love that. That is my definition of self-love. That is the place that I work to help, all of my clients get to, because that's truly a place, again, where we're seeing ourselves as spirit sees us. We are fully appreciating ourselves. We're fully appreciating all the good, all the bad, however we decide to color it. It's all good, right, at our core. So the next thing I really wanted to kind of chat about briefly is, why is it important? I mean, I think the definition kind of lends itself to understanding its importance, but I think it's really important at least to look at it in a couple of different ways. And one is on the effect and the quality of our relationships. So too often, the lack of self-love will show up in our relationships, right? We'll end up, one way is attracting partners that are not for our ultimate highest good. I truly believe that all relationships are beneficial and that they can show us what we, where we need to go, the next level in our evolution, what's left for us to learn, how we can love ourselves, in fact, better. But, in the physical sense, or in the real and tangible sense, sometimes we have partnerships that show up that don't feel good, right? And it's because at some point we may have missed something by not loving ourselves enough to either maybe tell us the truth, tell ourselves the truth, to look at things clearly and plainly, to speak that truth, or even be able to, at the very core, tune into ourselves, right? And so there's a lot that goes into each of those parts, but self-love is so incredibly important because of the relationships that we're in. Self-love and our relationships really start seeing where the rubber hits the road is really in our expectations, both of ourselves as well as our boundaries, which I think is another big word when we think about self-love. Like, where are our boundaries? What are aspects of being in relation to others that we draw the line? Like, we're not going to accept certain things because we love and value ourselves, because we even hold ourselves to a certain standard, right? And that's even for, perhaps our interaction with other people. Like, we know we're not going to, maybe even something as simple as call someone out of their name, because we know that that's not self-loving to ourselves or them, right? Or we know that we're not going to, disobey laws, like just really simple things, because we love ourselves. So in every aspect of a relationship, you can actually see how you valued yourself, how much you loved yourself. And I love that when we start to make these shifts and when we start to grow in this area, then we can see ourselves reflected out in our relationships. We can see our relationships becoming more fulfilling, more nurturing, more supportive, more of what we individually need, as well as we become better partners, we become better friends. And I say sometimes, often, a lot less needy, because again, our worth and our value is not extrinsically focused. It's not outwardly driven. We have our intrinsic value. We know what we stand for. We know what means the world to us, right? And so we're not looking for or needing someone else to provide that. And that is so powerful. That's so, so powerful. And I think one of the last things that I wanted to say, truly about self-love, because we've got some great experts this month that are really going to bring it home in all different directions around this topic, is that self-love is truly a journey. So with anything, however you got on the journey, I got on this journey kind of through the rocky road of divorce, through having a kid, through, abusive relationships, all sorts of great stuff, right? All sorts of good material for me to learn from and to reflect back and see, what does that mean for me? How am I showing up? Where am I not loving myself enough? And so wherever we get onto this self-love journey, we want to appreciate that. I know that I'm thankful for the different wake-up calls that I receive so that I can in turn love myself better. But I knew that by learning how to love myself better and healing certain things, that I would be able to help others do the same. But I want people to know that it is, in fact, a journey. I don't know if it's ever a point of, hey, I've arrived and I'm never, ever going to, see places where I could do a little bit better with loving myself, giving myself some compassion, or giving myself some grace. So it's a journey. And so I encourage you to, consider that as you embark upon, loving yourself deeper and fuller and greater, and endeavoring to love your life more, right, as it is right now. And not waiting for your life to look perfect for you to love and accept all that it is right now and the beauty of it. So that's kind of it for today. I was really excited to discuss and really continue the discussion, because this is an ongoing discussion around self-love. I'm super excited that you're listening to the Mind Soulful Show. For all of my listeners, I'd love for you to grab my new ebook. It is the Self-Love Ideas ebook, and it's inspired by the 5 love languages. So the 5 Love Languages is an amazing book written by Gary Chapman that allows you to take a quiz to see how you best receive and understand love. And there's actually 5 types. And my ebook, although the 5 love languages was originally designed for you to understand your love relationship kind of with others, my ebook takes a different spin and allows you to think of ideas to be more self-loving to yourself, right? To love on yourself based on what your love language is. So perhaps if it's physical touch, you might enjoy a massage. If it's quiet time, you might enjoy like meditation. Just a way for you to begin to make time, as well as have a list of ideas and a jumping off point for brainstorming amazing ways for you to love on yourself. I also offer a Mama Love Planner that is a great tool to actually make this self-care and self-love idea tangible by actually scheduling it. So I'd love my listeners and watchers to at least grab the free ebook, get some new ideas around self-love, learn your love language, really your top 2, and just have fun with it. Enjoy this journey. And I'm really looking forward to all of you interacting with me, both here on the podcast, as well as my amazing guest. And of course, I'd love for you to like, love, subscribe, and review this show so we can continue to provide awesome and great content that serves your soulful mindfulness, soulful mindset, and soulful manifestations. So here's to loving ourselves and the lives that we are presently living. Until next time. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you loved what you heard, please leave a review on iTunes and subscribe. I'd love to continue the Mind Soulful flow. Please connect with me at my website at brooksidney.com or everywhere around the web, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the Brooke Sidney. Be sure to check out my latest free Self-Love Ideas ebook on my website. And for those of you who know you want more inner and outer abundance, apply to work with me today. Until the next episode, cheers to loving yourself more and the life you are presently living.